everybody. Welcome to this week's Vision One Artist Shoutout. My name is Ella Beth. I'm your host for today, and I'm really excited to introduce today's artist because it's someone that we've actually shouted out a number of times with, with other guests before. Yeah, like we've mentioned you and been like, yeah, shout out to Korby. So without further ado, KORBY BOHANNON, everybody.
It's KORBY.
So welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on and being a guest with us today.
Thank you for letting me be a part of it.
I'm really excited.
Especially after all the
shout-outs.
Cryptic shout-outs.
Yeah, right? Everyone's like, yeah, Korby's the man. Korby's the man. And I'm always like, yeah, Korby's the man. Yeah, so you're the man, and welcome to the show. And so can you tell us a little bit about your musical journey, like what got you into music as you are today?
Okay, that's a long story.
That is a long story. Okay,
that's quite broad.
Okay. without me needing to go get the popcorn, like
yeah, I mean, I could do an origin story.
How many chapters?
That was an evil laugh.
I'm so excited.
So what brought me to 2023 KORBY and music essentially?
What got you into music originally? What was the thing that was like the crux or the?
So I essentially had no choice.
Okay.
I guess a little background on that is, Dad was and still is. He doesn't do it professionally anymore, but he was a professional full-time drummer back in the late '80s, '90s.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was drummer for a band called the Blondes. They were based out of Atlanta. Of course, they toured globally, but they were signed to Sony, got pretty good success, toured and opened up for dozens of hair metal acts, Bon Jovi, Ted Nugent, Poison, people like that.
Cool.
So they were first openers, second openers, whatever for them, but they were constantly on tour with a bunch of acts like that. He really hit it off with Derek St. Holmes from Ted Nugent, who, I don't know if you know the song like Cat Scratch Fever and Stranglehold and stuff like that from them. If I played it, you would know it. You know that song. It's kind of a classic rock cult, but he if I recall right, he wrote those. I know he sang on most of those, but
so your dad sang on those?
No, Derek.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, but they ended up like forming a little three-piece when I was in high school and played at some local bars and stuff when Derek was off of big tour.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was DD. I would drive them to the show and come back, and we'd stay up in the garage post-show until like fucking 5 a.m. Derek would just teach me how to play guitar.
Cool.
So I learned how to play guitar from arguably one of the greatest guitar players on the planet.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. So I since then played guitar, wrote songs. I really wanted to learn how to play guitar and sing at the same time and write songs because Derek was the idol. He did all that and he killed it.
Yeah. Well, I had a big name to look up to quite early in your musical journey. That's really awesome.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. But would write song. I'm trying to these are thoughts I haven't accessed in a long time. But I really got on this songwriting kick, guitar kick. And just did that for fun, but my life was school.
Right.
So I was dedicated to school. We grew up broke as hell. Mm-hmm. You know, we would. I think I remember overhearing like my parents. We would, on a good year, we would gross like $24,000.
Wow.
Of income for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And so my whole outlook was go to school, do great in school, get a great job, and die, essentially, with money.
Right.
Just do the exact opposite of what I grew up from. I come from a trailer in Alabama.
Right, right.
So it was a goal to get out of that. And then I go to high school. I graduate high school with a 4.6 because I did dual enrollment, and that like weights the GPA more or whatever. Mm-hmm. Go to Mercer University in Macon. I'm studying there. I'm getting GPAs.
Were you studying music there?
No, business.
Oh, okay.
I was at Mercer. My first GPA back was a 3.9, and then for those of you who may not know, Mercer is a private school. Is kind of a Christian private school, or it was Christian private school. That's the roots of it, but now it's just a private school. I don't know what the fuck they do now. But when I was there, the first year was fantastic. At the end of the first year, our basketball team got into like the big Sweet 16 playoffs and stuff.
Okay.
And I remember it was a major deal because we, this underdog, nobody knew about, beat Duke in the basketball playoffs.
Oh, okay.
I'm not big into basketball. I don't know how much that means, but I just know it was a big deal.
Right. I'm not that big into basketball, but I also know that that's quite a big deal to beat Duke. Okay, cool.
That put us on the map. And the following year, there was such an influx of freshmen that financial aid just dissipated.
Okay.
The first year, they gave me $46,000 in scholarship to go there.
Wow.
So I only had to come out of pocket $4,000.
Wow.
The next year, with a 3.9 GPA and doing everything, it went from 46,000 to 32. Because the amount of freshmen that they pulled in just flooded it.
Wow.
At that time, I was with my fiance. I don't know if we were married by that point. Plot twist, I got married. See, look.
He was, before we started talking, Korby was like, I don't want to like get too much into like any talk about too much in depth because I don't want to like make it so that we're like acting on camera. This is news to me, so.
I don't know. We never talked about that.
No.
Well, it feels so long ago to me at this point, but, and again, I don't really access these thoughts anymore. I mean, life has changed so much, but we got married while we were still in Mercer, I believe. And we essentially got married because we wanted to get more financial aid to try to stay in. Because the same thing happened to her, too. She was going to Mercer, financially dissipated. We exhausted every resource to try to stay in. We got married, hopefully, like, to file the FAFSA, get a little bit more financial aid, and hopefully stay in another year. I only had another year left anyway. And that did not work. We didn't get enough or anything like that. And so I was completely lost. You know, my whole life's trajectory was school, graduate,
job,
desk job, and yeah.
Right.
So it was like, what the fuck do I do? She had a bartending job on campus, making pretty good money. So she was squared away. She was like, I'll do this for 6 months, and then we can get back in. I was like, well, that's great, baby. What the fuck am I gonna do?
Right.
I don't know anything else. And so she was a big fan of the silly little songs that I wrote. And she was like, why don't you try doing something with music? I could see you going somewhere with that. And her being my wife, I didn't even question it. We went out the next day, bought some recording gear that I still have to this day. I don't use it now. I've upgraded, but still have it for mobile recording because it's like little 2-channel interface and stuff like that. Laptop, kind of like this
one of the
just like this one.
Scarlett Solos and
no Apogee Duet.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, I knew Apogee was the best. Like in my opinion, the best interface brand. So I was like, I'm going Apogee, but I'm going to go their cheapest one. So now I've got the Apogee Symphony IO. It's like
all right, you just got that into the studio recently. Congratulations.
Yeah, we'll
working your way the hell up there.
We'll talk about all that. Going from a $600 interface to a $6,500 interface.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah. So she told me, do something music. I could see you going somewhere with that. We went out, got the bare essentials, and I started my first EP, Blank Canvas. And
all by yourself.
Yeah, I had no choice.
I love that.
We had no money.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Right.
I was essentially thrown into the deep end of, hey, do music. Oh, by the way, figure out how to make money on it.
Right.
So.
Well, hey, when you're in the deep end, you have to learn to swim real quick.
Yeah. Very stressful. I firmly believe that also led to the end of the marriage. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. But, yeah. That's a funny paradox to me is like the marriage got me into music and then the music got me out of the marriage. It's a weird thing, but we'll do that on a longer podcast. We could talk more personal life. I know today's more about music, but But yeah, that was the day one. Did the EP. Essentially, immediately got addicted to sonics and sound design and the engineering behind music. But my goal was still be the biggest artist in the world. And then EP after EP after album, I dug myself a deeper hole in loving the audio side of it instead of the artist side. And now I'm full time into recording and mixing.
Right.
It's the artist thing. I'm still going to release projects and stuff and still do my own thing because I'm a songwriter still.
Absolutely.
I'm still an artist, but the ambition to be the biggest artist in the world has now funneled itself into being the biggest rock star engineer in the world. Like I still want a name for myself, and I still have that artist vanity, but it's going to be shown through engineering.
Right, right. So what was it? What was the catalyst between, like, what was the catalyst when you switched from wanting to be the biggest artist in the world to then being like, no, this sound engineering thing, like there's something here, like there's a real spark. I love it. What was that?
There wasn't a specific moment that switched. It was a kind of a gradient into being that. But I would say one of the biggest things was the open mic.
Okay.
That started last year.
Yep.
Which
is where I've met some of the guests that I've had on the podcast. So we mentioned you, yeah.
That's where we met. That's where
you and I met, yeah.
But even before that, I was recording and mixing for clients prior to the open mic. And to me, I started to see that other people are significantly more talented than me, and I started working with people like Miles, like Julian, that like I can never be as good a vocalist as them, or I can never play leads like them. And I started to become more of a fan of other people's music. I thought I fell in love with, if I do this, I can still hang out with the rock stars, and I can just essentially I can listen to better. I can have my hands on much better music than just my own.
Right.
So instead of just
that's interesting.
I've never had to explain it, so anybody watching, forgive me for stumbling on my words, but I'm not the best at thinking of something and trying to translate it into words.
I think what you said is really, that's still being very much one of the key components of creating great music, just instead of like kind of
we ain't sponsored.
Throw it.
You want to bring some money this way, we put it back up.
Yeah. Just instead of like being, I guess it'd be the same as like being in front of the camera as opposed to being behind the camera. You're still in the room, you're still involved, you're still calling creative shots, just in a different capacity. I really like that. Okay, that's really interesting. I've never thought of it like that.
Well, and it's also just a matter of affinity too. Like I've grown much more in love with engineering, with recording, with mixing than I have with being on the mic myself. I just like it so much more.
Okay.
So, I mean, it kind of just boils down to that. But we also, one of the biggest things was I started to do studio renovations last year.
Right.
Just due to necessity. Clients started to pick up, business was picking up. I was doing more projects. I needed to upgrade, better the workflow.
Yep.
And essentially, I bought a small console. And then everything changed after that. So everything got upgraded. Everything in the studio is brand new. We're still doing renovations right now. Everything will finally be complete early March, mid-March. Okay. So right now we're in the middle of the.
That's so soon. That's excellent.
Well, we've cut custom orders and everything going in and doing. It's a full renovation. Yeah. So, that's. The moment that I decided that, okay, this is going to be the path now. Yeah.
You were all in.
Full in. All the ambition of being an artist down into engineering. So I'm broke now, but
No,
the studio's great.
Right. Yeah, but that you're broke because you made a really excellent investment, like an excellent investment, you know? So,
I
well,
think
that's,
so.
I mean, and I think I always tell people that, like, when it comes to particularly creatives, there's those of us who are naturally gifted in one thing, be it vocals or painting or, you know, hip hop. I don't know. You can be born, like, genuinely just born with a gift. And then there's where your passion lies. And sometimes you can be lucky enough that those things collide, and what you're really passionate about and love is what you were born to do. And some creative people have what they're really excellent at, and what they really love is something different. And they'll do what they're excellent at because that brings them in the money.
Yep.
And then they'll do what they love as a hobby. And I kind of envy those people because I love singing. I love performing. Like, being on stage is what I'm meant to do. But it is a job, and I have to view it as a job. It's not something that I get to do for fun anymore. It's something that is my career, you know. So that's really interesting.
That it does change things. It's funny because to be the best at it, you have to put a price tag on it. You have to be able to pay your bills with it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to put in enough hours to do it.
Right. Yes.
If you're only doing it as a hobby and on the side, you will not get the experience you need. But then, once you put a price tag on it, it's also a job. But that's another thing that happened that kind of pushed me into just like kind of scrapping the artist idea is, you know, I was playing 4 to 6 shows a week for years. And it does become a job. It does become very unfun. And with engineering, I don't get that.
Good.
You know,
that's really good.
Every day's fun.
Yeah.
My job is to listen to great music.
Yeah.
My job is to bring great music to life.
Yeah.
You know, that's the most fun part about my job is tracking with these artists. If, you know, I have the privilege to track with them. I mix a lot, and I tend to track a lot of what I mix too, but sometimes people send me stuff and I just mix it from that. But either way, bringing the song to life is what's addicting to it.
Yeah.
Making it jump out of the speakers and surround you is addictive to me.
Yeah.
And
when you know you've just you've like created a moment, you're like wait, and go back and play it again. Yeah, we just created a moment. Like, yeah, I feel that. Oh, get shivers.
I was just I'm gonna put her on blast. You know Morgan.
I know Morgan. Shout out to Morgan.
Shout out to Morgan.
Morgan's also going to be on the podcast at some point.
Is she? Come on, you got to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She's not many people know, but she's working on stuff. We're working on stuff. That's so exciting. I just last week, I believe, or the week before, I just finished mixing her first song ever.
Yes, we love to hear that.
Dude, when I was...
Is she okay with you?
I'm not going to say the name or anything, but...
or release date or anything.
I'm going to blast
that
her.
There is a song.
Follow her at Morgan the Siren.
Yeah, Morgan the Siren on Instagram. Yeah.
I was... The last step in my mixing process is automating the vocal, just to make sure it sits well throughout the whole song. I cried when I was writing her vocal. That's how sweet that particular song is. But I'm saying that my job is to listen to music that does stuff to me.
Right.
Like I don't get that with my stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked on my stuff so much that it doesn't even affect me anymore. But
right.
Kind of going back to what you said, though, about having you got your passion and you got your talent or your natural skill.
Right.
I feel like for me, that's engineering.
Okay.
Whereas my hobby.
Right. Your hobby is performing.
Yeah. I had two passions, which was creating music myself and performing myself in engineering. But I feel like my skill lied in engineering. So that marriage worked for me.
Yeah.
Whereas I was initially chasing something that wasn't my organic skill set.
Right.
It got me to my organic skill set, but
right, yeah.
You know, when you said that stuck out.
And also, I think too the fact that you started with knowledge of being a musician and like having an understanding of musicianship and theory and sound and having a good ear because you worked as a musician must be the hugest benefit as a sound engineer. Like, you know, because there is such a technical side of it, and you really do have to have the knowledge of the technical side of it and all the computer stuff. But unless you have also a really good knowledge of music and what sounds good, like a sound engineer could be like, look, I've mixed and mastered this or whatever, and you know, you might get a decent track, but somebody who's a musician will give you something that is like incredible. Like
it'll have mojo to it.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, and I think, and maybe because I my whole school of engineering is the old school. Like the way that I've learned, I've been doing it since 2015. The way that I learned was how they fucking did it in the 70s.
Right.
You know where I started? I started by not getting paid and going to other studios and just fucking rolling cables. Like that's the old school way to do it. Now you can just pay $20,000, go to Full Sail, and then call yourself an engineer,
Right.
which is cool. It's cool.
It's fine if you can do that, you know?
But I feel like you didn't earn it.
Right.
And I feel like artists can sniff you out. You're not one of them.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
it's
one of
important.
them.
Right.
I
One
can
of
relate
us.
to you.
Yeah.
When you're having trouble laying down a vocal chop or a line, I can probably help you.
Right.
Because I've done the same thing
Yeah,
over and over
absolutely.
and over and over myself. And I feel like if I'm an artist in a studio, I would want to work with somebody who knows my fucking struggle.
Yes.
And hopefully cussing is allowed on this show.
We threw that out the window.
It is my second language. But yeah,
for real.
I'm, like, artists can sniff out if you're not one of them. You know, being an artist is very cliquey.
Yeah.
You know,
for better or for worse, it's true. And I was actually talking with another artist yesterday, and I was talking about how we know this. We have a mutual friend, and they're a young person, and they're really starting to take music seriously, and they're just really hungry to learn everything, kind of like you, like all about sound engineering, all about wants to get up and play, and like just, and I love that. I'm like, that's once again one of us, somebody who is just sold out to the music. I guess that's what it is in the end. Like, it doesn't really matter where you are in the industry. If you're sold out to it, you're one of us, you know?
Yeah.
And oftentimes being sold out means that we're poor.
yes.
But I don't believe it'll always be that way. Not for you, not for I. Because we you know, we're really working for it, you know, and we have so much available to us these days as well.
Yeah. The thing about that is, you know, going back to the poor thing, you know, we always are.
Yeah.
But like any money I've ever made has gone back into
music, yeah.
Like I don't have money for myself.
Right.
I'm not at the stage now where I'm done working. When I'm done working, yeah, I'll have money for myself.
Right.
I'll have nice watches that aren't gifts.
Right.
I'll buy them.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything has gone back to it. Like everything that I've saved up in the last 8 years, I just spent back in the studio.
Yeah.
I've never spent this much money on anything.
Right.
Like I was cool before. I was like, when I was just trying to do the artist thing, just last year, I was like, okay, cool, I got money now.
Yeah.
Like, cool, I'm comfortable now, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then the moment I decided, you know, I'm done with this. I'm
going to take this.
I'm going to do what I want to do.
Right.
And
I'm going to do me.
yeah, it's like bye all the money.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's the thing. You got to invest in yourself.
You do.
If you're not recycling your income back into what
then
creates
you're a
your
terrible
income,
business person.
there's always something to upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I mean, it's really good that you've mentioned that you have like this state-of-the-art stuff that you've put back in, because that means that KORBY Bohannon Studios is full of excellent, awesome new toys. Not toys, they're not toys. We don't treat
toys.
them. They're toys.
They're very expensive toys.
Very expensive toys to be working on. So if you're somebody in the Atlanta area who is interested in recording, make sure that you hit KORBY up.
Thank you for that plug.
Yeah, a little plug in there. But before we start wrapping up, I also wanted to ask you, like, what projects do you have coming up in 2023? Will open mic night be
for me or for the studio?
both? For KORBY Bohannon Industries in general.
Okay, industries, enterprise, like studios.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So open mic. We don't have a scheduled setback date, but we are forecasted for about March.
Okay.
Just when it gets warmer.
When it gets warmer, yeah.
Nobody
no
wants
one
to
wants
come
to be
out
in
when
a
it's
shed
freezing and
when it's cold.
I mean, Social Fox Brewing. Shout out to Social Fox Brewing.
Shout out to Social
bringing
Fox.
all of us together.
Yes.
We host an open mic every Thursday. We've closed down for the season, but we're coming back when it's warm, when it's fun to be out again.
Yes.
So looking at March, stay tuned with either me or Ella. I'm sure you'll post about it too when it's back.
Absolutely, yeah.
Myself as an artist, or now I can treat it as my hobby, which is awesome. That's the cool thing about it is I can get back to just doing music for fun again.
Yes. I just feel like learning this new song today, and maybe I'll throw it in my show this week.
I don't have to.
Yes.
I don't have to. So I have been working on another EP. That it's been a few years since I've dropped anything because I have been so busy with other people's projects, which I'm not complaining about. Send me your projects. But yeah, I'm starting to be able to carve some time for myself to finish. I've got an EP coming out called Halcyon.
Halcyon, okay.
And
CYON.
Yeah, HALCYON.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm typically, if you go back to listen to any of my stuff, I am a ballad man. I love ballads, and that's about all I can write. But I'm tired of ballads. I'm tired of the sad song.
Oh, yay! It's your happy era.
Yeah,
okay,
and that's
cool.
what Halcyon means too. It's at least the definition that I found. It's denoting a particularly happy time period. So
I love that.
I'm going to compile the few happy songs that I have written throughout the years into one project, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So
excellent.
I've only got a few more to track on that one and get out. So I hope to get that out while it's still warm this year.
Okay.
So you could put the top down, put the windows down, and just drive
Listen
to
to
it.
your happy tunes. Oh, I love that. Cool. That's
the vision.
very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're expecting like a late summer drop, perhaps?
Yeah, at the latest.
Okay.
At the latest. I'm going to try to get a move on it, especially once all the renovations are done at the studio.
Yes.
Definitely really kicking into high gear. My mind is in purgatory right now because everything is not complete with the studio just yet.
Right.
It's still all workable. Like all the gear that I have that I've purchased, have integrated. It's just I'm OCD as hell.
Right.
And so I'm just
It's not perfect yet.
yeah, like I see a cable on the floor and it's
That's not where that should be.
So actually I got a custom shout out to Danger Fox as well. They're a company over in Texas. They build the highest end studio console desks you can even imagine. They're all custom and hand built.
Cool.
That's essentially what we're waiting on.
Okay.
Is that to come in, and we're going to retrofit everything into that.
Awesome.
It is a major workstation improvement. So that's really what we're waiting on. So
Cool.
everything is ready to just plug and play once that gets here.
Okay. Congratulations.
But we're still working right now, so send me your project.
Yes, yeah. That doesn't. The studio does not stop. We're still working. Yeah. Cool. Well, before I wrap it up, would you be able to just tell everyone again where to find you on social media, what songs to maybe look out for on YouTube or any sort of streaming platforms? And also, you're wearing one of your own sweatshirts. This is a KORBY. Yes, yeah, I know your signature.
I didn't even blast that.
Yeah, there's a KORBY BOHANNON original. You can get merch from you on Instagram, right? There's a link on there, right? I bought my T-shirt from you. I should have worn it. What am I doing?
Dude, yeah, it's gold too.
It is gold. I dropped the ball today. My bad. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, so I don't have any live merch right now.
Okay.
This was like a prototype. So we got this one in a prototype, got a red one in the prototype, same thing. And I have not said anything to anybody about it, but anytime I wear it anywhere, you, Julian, Miles, everybody has brought up, I want that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not saying, I haven't said anything about
It's
like
nice.
the other
It's
shirts.
a really cute color, but first of all, but yeah, no, it's great. It's a sign everything.
That's the new logo too.
I like it.
Yeah. But we'll probably get some merch after the renovation relaunch. Probably do a full thing because I'm updating everything. So the website is also changing over to KORBY BOHANNON Studios. It's no longer going to be an artist page for me.
Okay.
So everything is going. I'm going full head into studio.
Okay. Excellent.
KORBY BOHANNON as the commercial artist is.
retired.
No longer. Yeah. I'll still be there. You can still listen to my music.
The person formerly known as.
The person formerly known as KORBY Bohannon, the commercial artist. But,
okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm still putting out stuff. So anybody that actually likes my stuff, you don't have to worry. I've got hundreds of songs that I'm backed up on. So
cool. Excellent.
Yeah. Oh, where to find me?
Yes.
At KORBY Bohannon. It is a weird name. Blame my mom. KORBY BOHANNON. Or since you clicked on this video, you can probably see it in the title.
Yes. You can just go copy and paste or just type it up. You said our studio, you just mentioned relaunch. Are you going to be having some sort of event to like relaunch the studio? Like,
I haven't considered. I've been so focused on just getting everything here.
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
even thought about anything like that.
Oh,
Maybe.
well, let us know.
Maybe, yeah.
I'll bring the tequila. I'll be the one.
Okay.
I'll bring the tequila in for the studio
There will
opening.
definitely be tequila involved regardless. So yes, tequila, food,
Cool.
music, that'd be good.
Think about it. Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming along and being on our Artist Shout Out. You are a fantastic person, a great friend. I'm really honored to have you here talking about what you've done. And if you're a person in the Atlanta area who would like to be on our Artist Shout Out podcast, we would love to hear from you. You can hit us up at Vision One Media ATL on Instagram. The same thing on Facebook. You can also check us out on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you and work with you. And yeah.
That's good. I almost forgot that. You can reach me at KORBY, at KORBYBohannonstudios.com. That's the studio email. So you can hit me up there.
Okay, that's the email.
Should we end this with some ASMR?
Yeah, I think we should do that for our little ending. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Hopefully we can come back and do this longer.
Yeah, we can do a long form interview and we could talk about interesting things that we like ASMR.
You know, we can just whisper next time and really get into personal details about ourselves.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I think we should drink tequila while we're doing it, and it won't be whispering for very long. Oh, you've been an excellent guest. Thank you all.